what do you want to talk about, your committees? Do you want to talk about the gun bill that's out there?
Well,
right now?
I want to talk about my bill passing the Senate floor today.
Oh, right.
It was a good bill. It got really broad support. It's what I would say February sessions were built for. Little tweaks in the law to help people out. It wasn't controversial. It's aimed at National Guard members who are also going to college, and it just makes sure that when they're called out to help with state emergencies like the wildfires last summer, that they are not penalized in their schooling for having to take that time off to go do it. Because the current law says if you're called away for 30 days or more, and it's kind of focused on the long-term deployments to Iraq, or Afghanistan, those types of things. But our guardsmen and women have to deal with these situations in the state that come up unexpectedly, and when they're going to college, sometimes their little deployments or assignments can end up putting them in the middle of midterms or finals, in which case they would have to take classes over again. That's just expensive for them, so we didn't want that to happen, so we changed the law, and we're working on it. It has to go through the House side now, but
it's looking good.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah, common sense, and like you said, something good for the February.
Helpful. I think most people wanted to. I think a lot of people have signed on to it, both sides, both chambers. So I think it's a good. That's the kind of thing that was made for a February session.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, good job on that. I know it's hard to. There's so many bills out there, 150 or so.
There are. Yeah. On the Senate side, we were only given one individual member bill to introduce, and on the House side, I understand they each were allowed 2. So we had double the members and double the number of bills coming over from the House side, and when you combine that with trying to satisfy the base, I know, those are the types of things that have gotten moved over there. Now, hopefully, our leadership on the Senate side will be the calm, rational leadership that they have shown to be most of the time. I don't agree with everything they let through, but at least they do filter out a lot of these things that come lobbing over from the partisan House.
So what else do you expect to see?
Well, there will be the healthcare is a right resolution that got voted out of the House committee. I think it passed the House, and it's coming over. It's in the Health Committee on the Senate side now. That's the one that would change the Constitution to declare that everybody has to have access to medically appropriate, cost-effective. I can't remember all the descriptors they put in it, but it would come down to being a state responsibility. That's how I see it. That's how many people see it. How would you pay for that? I think it had been estimated to cost $42 billion, and I think that's in a year. And can you imagine? Even if it's a biennium, that's that's a whole ton of money.
You know, our founding fathers gave us 10 amendments of just real basic rights to keep us our freedom.
Right.
Keep us having freedom.
Right.
And it's things like this. It's not a nice idea for people to have health care and things like that.
Right.
But, you know, there's something going on in my family member, and what we're doing as a family, we're just kind of collectively, you know, stepping in and doing what we can to do the best thing. And if we just got health care handed to us, it would be easier just to make the taxpayers pay for it. So
it's not sustainable, for one thing, and before health care, I mean, why not food and shelter as a right? I mean, right now with our housing shortage, it almost seems like something, if you're going to go that direction, why wouldn't you start there rather than health care? I don't know. Maybe it's just a response to what's going on in the federal government and them sort of neutering Obamacare somewhat. Maybe that's what is motivating this kind of motion. So.
Yeah, it probably is.
Probably.
Okay. Anything else you want to?
No, just stay tuned. Things are moving very quickly, but if people want to keep tabs on what's going on here, at least particular issues, they can get onto OLIS, the online, OLIS, Online
Oregon
Legislative Information System. I know the information system. Anyway, so just Google OLIS, Oregon and OLIS, and you can get in there and you can look up the text of bills. So if you have a topic, you can punch in that keyword and see all the bills that have that word in it, and you kind of look at those and see what committees are in, see what the status is, get updates, sign up for updates so you know when things are changing and when things are getting a public hearing, when they're getting a work session, and that's a good way for people to keep tabs.
Are you getting more phone calls at your office from people who have actually gone on there and they have questions or concerns?
Well, yes, I encourage people to sign up for it. And I said my office is happy to help you sign up for notices and get situated and comfortable in using the system. My office is wants to help folks with that, and I know other offices do too. So
if I particularly, we have a minute or so here. If I particularly have an interest in school choice, I can go on OLIS and get an update on anything that's happening that's related to that, so I can come to meetings or speak.
The bills, yes. Now the bills themselves may not have the word school and choice in them, so you might want to look for
education.
Yeah, education, or that's very broad. That will bring a whole pile. So you might have to refine your search a little bit. But something, if you want to talk about online charter schools, or for heaven forbid, there's like a education scholarship. I had those bills before that had to do with school choice, where the money would follow the kid. That would be better, even though we would put it under the topic of school choice. I don't think that would be in the bill. So you have to look for words that would actually be in the bill.
Okay. And then on my email something would pop up, or text.
If you get you can sign up for notifications when there are things happening. So I don't know all the where ins and outs of those, because things have changed. The process changed a little bit, but my office is highly familiar with them, so they keep up with that a lot and help others also. So. Okay.
Well, there you go. If there's something you're particularly interested in, and government just overwhelms you, there's a solution. And give your representative a call. Senator Thatcher will help you too. Right. As she said, get situated with that. And I didn't know it was that easy, because I saw it as a big monster, something good, something necessary. A lot of information.
Yes, a lot of information, but you can really dial in
refine
and do some and do some refined searches, and so you can focus on the things that you really care about. And that way you can come to the Capitol in Salem, and you can actually stand in meetings, and sometimes they'll let you speak, correct? Right. If there's going to be a public hearing, most of the time you can get in and get as much time as you want. If it's on a topic that's a little more controversial, you might be limited to a couple of minutes in giving your testimony. But yes, we encourage people to come down to the Capitol and testify. I mean, if they can't do that, and people are busy, and that's a long ways to go for folks, especially in the far-flung areas of the state, and people are working too during this time. So sending emails, giving a phone call, all those work as well.
Yeah.